If you enjoy the content on this channel, please like and subscribe. The Penguin is an American crime drama television miniseries developed by Lauren LeFranc for HBO based on the DC comic books character of the same name. It serves as a spin-off sequel to the film The Batman released in 2022, following Oz Cobb's rise to power in Gotham City's criminal underworld. LeFranc serves as the showrunner of the series, which is produced by DC Studios in association with Warner Brothers Television. Colin Farrell stars as the titular character, reprising his role from The Batman alongside Christine Milioti, Renze Felez, Deirdre O'Connell, Clancy Brown, Carmen Ejojo, Michael Zegan, and Mark Strong. Development of the series was underway by September 2021. HBO Max ordered it in March 2022 after The Batman was released. The film's director Matt Reeves supervised the writing and was involved in hiring the creative team. Filming began in March 2023 in New York, but was halted in June by 2023's Hollywood labor disputes. Production then would resume in late November and concluded in February 2024. The series was moved from HBO's Max successor, Max, to HBO in July 2024. Craig Zobel directed the first 3 episodes, Lynn Schaefer and Kevin Bray directed 2 each, and Jennifer Getzinger directed the finale. The Penguin was then broadcast in the United States from September 19, 2024 until November 10, 2024, spanning 8 episodes. The series received critical acclaim for its performances, writing, direction, tone, and production values. Colin Farrell fought hard for having his version of the Penguin smoke tobacco in the Batman film, but was unsuccessful. For his own series, however, the character is depicted as an occasional tobacco user with a preference for cigars. It has been a dream of Christine Milioti to play a Batman villain since she decided she wanted to be an actress. According to the show developer Lauren LeFranc, the show is primarily inspired by Scarface, released in 1983. She would say, "Matt Reeves came up to me with the Scarface story, a rise to power. I turned it into a psychological character study of this man. Mobsters historically are larger than life, so there's that slight elevated quality to it. But he's just a man, a very complicated man. This is what differentiates him from previous versions of the Penguin in the comics, where he comes from a wealthy, well-known family. Matt had already made him an underdog and that he was number 2 to Carmine Falcone in the film, but we didn't know anything about his family, so it was important to me that he comes from nothing, that he's really aching to get more status and to be seen as more important." The jewelry store was named Burgess, after the original Penguin actor who played the role in the Batman series in the 1960s, Burgess Meredith. Apparently at one point Matt Reeves and Lauren LeFranc floated the idea of Victor having an encounter with Batman himself, but ultimately decided against it so as not to detract from the show's main characters for the sake of a brief cameo. Matt Reeves would integrate elements of his cancelled Gotham PD show into this one. The series, which would have centered on Gotham Police Department and Arkham Asylum, was dropped after HBO executives suggested that Reeves focus more on marquee characters from the Batman universe. The first Batman movie Christine Milioti saw in theatres was actually 1992's Batman Returns, where the Penguin was one of the main villains. Being 6 years old at the time, she found a lot of imagery to be quite terrifying. John Turturro could not reprise his role as Carmine Falcone from the Batman due to settling conflicts, so Mark Strong replaced him. Later, Turturro agreed that it was partly due to this reason, yet stipulated that it was also due to the distaste and explicit violence towards women present in the series, preferring it when it was off-screen, like the violence of his portrayal of Falcone in The Batman. Matt Reeves explained why the Cape Crusader doesn't intervene during the events of the show. "This was the time of great turmoil in the city. It's literally the week after what happened," Reeves told a digital spy. "Much of the city is in depression, so the police can't get anywhere. There's crime everywhere, and it's a very, very dangerous time. Batman's out there trying to grapple with the aftermath of everything that happened, to which some degree he blames himself for," Matt Reeves would add. Colin Farrell is the second actor to play the Penguin in live action to be seen smoking tobacco, after Burgess Meredith in Batman in 1966, and the Batman movie also released that year. Although promotional material for Danny DeVito's portrayal in Batman Returns had him smoking, in the actual film he did no such thing and even rejected the habit. Initially, Wolfgang Peterson was planned to direct Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice, which was released in 2016. Colin Farrell had been considered to play Bruce Wayne Batman if that film had ever been made, which would have been done in the early 2000s. After Robin Lord Taylor's portrayal in the series Gotham, Colin Farrell's version of the Penguin is the only other live-action portrayal of the character to have an active and major role in the Mafia, as Burgess Meredith was a supervillain looking for money and power, and Danny DeVito was a deformed terrorist looking for revenge in the city of Gotham. The series marks the first live-action debut of Summer Gleason. The character was introduced in the Batman animated series and was created as a stand-in for Batman's love interest, Vicky Vale. Matt Reeves had the Penguin's name changed from Oswald Cobblepot to Oswald or Oz Cobb to make the character more grounded. The series producers cite the crime films The Long Good Friday, released in 1980, and Scarface in 1983 as the influence on the series. This is Mark Strong's third DC comic book role, after having played Sinestro in The Green Lantern, released in 2011, and Dr. Sivana in David F. Sandberg's Shazam films. While in Arkham, Sophia receives a letter from Selina Kyle claiming to be her half-sister. This is a nod to the comic storyline The Long Halloween. Reeves confirmed in July 2024 that Farrell would reprise his role as the Penguin in the film The Batman Part 2. After the season finale, Farrell said that it was for a while he didn't know if he would be appearing in Part 2 and he'd yet to see a script, stating, "I was told I have 5 or 6 scenes." He also revealed that he had signed on for 3 Batman films. After the season finale, Farrell stated that he would be open to starring in a second season of The Penguin, after previously stating, "I never want to put on that suit and head again." Farrell, a method actor, had gone on record that he was in a mentally dark place during the production due to its dark story. Reeves has also stated in a separate interview that after the finale that a second season was possible and that it was on the table. According to the show developer Lauren LeFranc, Batman doesn't appear in the show. She would say, "I understand why people's desire would go to have Batman, or to think that unless Batman's in the show or the film, that it doesn't have the same punch. To me, I think it packs a different punch. Matt's films are through the lens of the Batman. So when you're high up, you're looking down on the city. It's a different perspective. With Oz, you're in the city streets. You're in the grit and the muck and the grime. He's looking up, wanting to claw his way to the top." Now, I found The Penguin to be a gripping, grounded crime drama with a tour de force performance here from Colin Farrell. Farrell shines in his captivating, award-worthy performance as Oswald Cobb in this dark, gripping, and surprisingly relatable crime drama. Farrell's mesmerizing, nuanced portrayal of the Penguin brings him to life with absolute perfection. Farrell is definitely one of the finest actors going around today, but for me, arguably, this is one of his absolute best performances. He plays the psychopathic Penguin with such emotional depth and range that there are even times when you feel a slight bit of sympathy for him, only for you to be reminded later on what a cold, psychopathic killer this man really is, and how he will stop at nothing to achieve his goals. The show is grounded in realistic storytelling that will transcend its comic book origins. While The Penguin will undoubtedly delight Batman fans with its fresh, intriguing interpretation of this famous character, its grounded, mafia-inspired narrative makes it accessible and enjoyable for viewers unfamiliar with the comics. I must also compliment the rest of the cast. Christine Milioti turns out a stunning, fantastic performance here as Sophia Falcone. It's a gritty, dark performance, as she really shows her emotional depth as an actress, as does Renzi Filez here, playing the stuttering Victor. He's the heart of the show and the one character with some sort of good in him. It's also a magnificent performance here from Deirdre O'Connell as Oz's mother, Frances. Frances is Oz's only weak point, his Achilles heel if you will, and Deirdre brings it to life with such poise, intensity, and yet shows her own complicated love and yet disdain for her son. This is truly a gripping, intense crime drama, boasting an unforgettable performance here from Colin Farrell and the rest of the cast. With its dark atmosphere, intricate storytelling, and strong cast, this series is a must-watch for fans of crime dramas and, of course, comic book enthusiasts alike. I, of course, am a massive Batman fan, and I loved the Matt Reeves film released in 2022, and this is a perfect add-on to that. Although the show is strong enough that you don't necessarily even have to watch the movie to enjoy it. This is a show that you could just watch on its own and still be spellbinded. With its brilliant dialogue, fantastic storytelling, wonderful interpretation of the Penguin character, and magnificent performances from Christine Milioti and in particular Colin Farrell, The Penguin is an outstanding drama series. The Penguin gets a 9.5 out of 10.